Today I'm playing with some old friends, some Vincent van Gogh foam stamp designs. Welcome back to my studio. I'm Elizabeth St. Hilaire, and today I am playing with some metallic resist. I'm using foam stamps to create the pattern, and then a lot of water with fluid acrylics to create the color that will resist off of that metallic. Lots of water and wet strength tissue paper and the summer sun. Let's hope it's a fabulous combination. So today I thought I would paint wet strength tissue paper with a metallic resist in sort of a Vincent van Gogh theme. So I created these Van Gogh themed foam stamps for joggles some time ago. And a lot of the times it's really fun to come back and revisit older designs. So I've got the starry spirals and the little sparkly glitters and the star and moons. Those are definitely not the official titles of these stamps, but I'll put them in the expanded description box below the video for you. So in keeping with Van Gogh, I thought I would use a metallic color for the stars and use the metallic as a resist, but then I'm just going to add all kinds of starry night shades of blue to that. I'm also going to be using an ultrafine mist sprayer to move the paint around on the tissue paper. And I'm going to be using my gel plate to put the copper metallic paint onto the foam stamps to press them onto the tissue. Ultimately, I'm going to crumple this tissue up and load it up with color and water, and we're just going to let it dry. So I have it on top of a piece of cardboard, an old box that somebody sent me a package in, covered with a kitchen garbage bag. That way I can pick it up and move it off of my work surface and put it out in the sun to dry. So the first thing I'm going to do is create the metallic pattern that the fluid acrylics will resist off of when we do the wet watery painting. So I'm just going to put this out on a gel plate off to the side. And I use my gel plate to, let's see if we can get this bigger. So I use my gel plate to put the paint on the stamps evenly and smoothly. You want to apply the paint only to the surface pattern of the stamps and not with a paintbrush, because you don't want the paint to get down in the low areas of the stamps. You won't get a good impression. So that's why the gel plate to me is kind of the best tool. So I'm going to put out this copper metallic. Then I'm going to take my first foam stamp and dab it into the paint. Press it into the paint. And then I'm going to make sure by rolling it with the brayer that it's got good coverage. And then I'm just going to stamp that kind of randomly on the wet strength tissue paper. And it's making a really nice impression, really solid. I chose copper instead of gold because copper is more opaque than gold. So it's going to be a thicker, kind of more opaque effect, and I think it's going to really help the resist of the metallic with the fluid acrylics. But I think that you could also make it work with gold or bronze or silver. Any of the metallic colors are going to work the same way. I just was in the mood for the vibrant kind of pinkish tone of copper paint today. So I want to remember that I have two other stamps, so I want to move, spread these apart a little bit as I apply them. So when your copper paint gets a little low, you just put a little bit more out, roll it back with the roller. And the best way to clean these foam stamps is if you have a damp microfiber cloth, you can rub that over the surface. I think that works the best while you're working. It's just important to get the color off the surface of the stamp before it dries, because if it dries on the stamp, you'll have a crusted foam surface that won't work as well in terms of stamping the paint. So we're just going to use that microfiber cloth and get this all clean and then set it aside. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is the big spirals, which is a lot of fun. So I'll put out some more copper paint onto my gel plate. This stamp is really large in size, which is kind of cool because by contrast, it's got a lot thinner lines and thinner density of design than the one that I just put down. So we get a nice combo of patterns and sizes. Also, I'm not going to worry about overlapping a little bit. But if you wanted to not overlap, you could also be mindful of spreading your stamps a little further apart. To me, it just makes for some more interesting layers. To have them overlap. So another interesting thing you could do would be to combine the copper and the gold with the stamping. If you were so inclined, you could do some in gold and some in copper, and some in silver and some in bronze. You could do a whole metallic combo. Okay, so again, we'll clean this stamp, and then we've got one more, and that's the one with the little twinkling stars and moons, which I think will work well with these other patterns. So now we've got those twinkling stars and moons. I'm going to add out some more copper. So these I'm going to put in the middle spaces, and you saw you can also just bend it and stamp just one section of it. That's what's nice about the foam stamps, is that if I don't want the full stamp, I can just bend it and put a small section of it in some of these in-between places. So this is the smallest of the three patterns. So it's a nice combo to put with the big, big spirals and the medium-sized moon and stars. Okay, so now I'm going to be using a small 2-inch soft bristle brush to press the color around in the paper. It's going to require that. I'm going to take the ultra fine mist sprayer and dampen this wet strength tissue down. The beauty of the wet strength tissue is it can take all the water and all the stamping and all the paint on top and then be set out in the sun to dry, and it's not going to fall apart. It also glues down very nicely in Collage and can be pulled up and removed if you decide you didn't want it in that spot. So it's very durable when it comes to water. I'm going to spray the back of it. So we can get it really good and wet here, because the color is going to move around in the water, the color that we apply. So the more wet this paper is, the more that color is going to bleed and blend, because it's going to travel with the water. So I love this ultrafine mist sprayer for this. Okay. So that's getting pretty wet now. And you can see that the stamping dried really quickly, because the fluid acrylics are like that. They dry real fast. And it was a very thin application of paint from the gel plate to the surface of the stamp. Okay, so I'm going to crumple this up onto the plastic bag, and I want to get some decent crumples so I can get the color to kind of travel in the crevices and cracks of the crumples and create interesting patterns in the paper. So take some time to make sure you've got bends and crumples kind of everywhere on the paper, especially in the middle and out around the edges. So that looks pretty good. So now let's zoom in a little bit. So now we have our crumpled paper, and I'm going to give it one more spray. I think the water is the key here. I don't think you can have enough water. And since it's summer and it's quite warm outside, I think once I move this out to the sun, it'll probably dry pretty quickly as well. So I've got some different blues, and I'm going to use the manganese first. And I'm just going to put a few droplets of it out. I'm not squeezing the container. I'm just shaking it. So I'm shaking it, and it's dripping out a little bit. You don't need to squeeze it. And then I'm adding water to that again. And then I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to use the brush to sort of dab it and move it around. And I can also push some more wrinkles into the paper with that brush. And this is the manganese blue. A little bit more water. And I'm going to add a little bit more over here. Just shaking the container now. Now I'm going to get a lot of coverage with this light color, because this will be the base. And if you have an area that's pretty concentrated, just add some more water to it so the paint can move around a little bit more. So where you see like heavy blobs of paint, you add some more water and do some more dabbing with the paintbrush. Now the next color I'm going to come in with is a Payne's Gray, which is significantly darker than the manganese blue. But this is a nice contrast. So we're going to add water to that. As you can see, this is a lot of water. So I'm really glad that we have the wet strength tissue, which will stand up to this amount of water and dabbing and manipulating. So again, if your wrinkles get a little pushed out, you're going to take the brush and push the paper back together. So you have a crumpled effect. Okay, and then my last color is the teal. And I'm very gently going to shake this out. And I'm going to do a sparing amount of it because it's an opaque color and I don't want it to cover up everything else that we've done. But I like the idea of adding some light pale blue into this. So I'm going to add a bunch of water to the teal. And I'm going to, rather than dab it, I'm going to see if I can get it to move with gravity and water. That way it'll stay a little bit more concentrated and a little bit less dabbed into the other colors. Okay, so I think I need a little bit more in the middle here. So we're going to move this around with a little bit of dripping. Okay, so now we have a big wet mess and we just need to be patient and let it dry. So I'm going to clean the tools and put this up out in the sun, and we'll check back with it in a little bit. Okay, so it's dry. It didn't take that long to dry in the sun. And I'm going to peel it right off of the plastic paper or plastic bag and then kind of stretch it out. And you can see this beautiful veining of the color as it's in the low areas and the resist off of the metallic. And we've got a lot of texture and pattern with this beautiful collage paper in the Vincent van Gogh style on the wet strength tissue paper. So that's going to be beautiful for collage projects. And it's got some beautiful pattern and resist on it. So it's still a little bit damp in the crevices. So before I pull it all apart flat, I'm just going to let it sit here a little bit more. But I'm really loving how that's looking. Well, here's hoping you found that inspiring. I think that the papers are going to be fantastic for collage, and there are a lot of different color combinations you could use. So hopefully you'll give it a try, and I'll see you back here next week.